Are you excited to see Wi-Fi 7 performance of my home lab? So now I'm finally going to test my UDB switch to its fullest capacity. I have upgraded my home lab setup to U7 Pro XG, which has a 10 gig uplink. So now all these particular wired connections are 10 gig. So now what first I am going to do is I will test wired connection. So now I have connected my MacBook M2 to 10 gig port. So now I have another my MacBook Pro connected to the Cisco switch going through my home gateway. So now let me just go ahead and do the speed test. Now you can see I am getting close to 9 gig. That's typically in that way wire. It is a 10 gig capabilities there. Okay, so almost like a 9 gig download and upload as well. So almost we are getting like a 9.2 gig and 9.7 gig, ping of 1 millisecond, jitter of 0.1 millisecond. So now what I'm going to do is, that's the testing we did. So now we almost got this previous kind of screen capture when it is set. So now what I'm going to do now, I move this laptop here into the my UDB switch, which has a Wi-Fi 7 uplink connection. So now I have put like a 320 megahertz and 160. This is the highest you can go just to test this out. Now that laptop has been moved to this side. Okay, I have connected my laptop now to the UDB switch. So what we are going to do this time, we are testing our wireless connectivity. So now idea is we are generating traffic across, I'm generating a speed test between these two machines. So traffic has to go through this wireless uplink. So now let me just do the test. And this would be the sort of maximum performance you can expect. Now while this speed test happening, I'll bring the spectrum as well. Now you can see if I move it up. So now this is 6 gigahertz. Now this is 5 gigahertz. So you can see we are using both bands simultaneously. This is what we call multi-link, multi-radio STR connectivity. So now this is sort of, like a maximum you can expect, in that way, theoretically you can have a higher data rate value, but you can see I got almost like a 4.5 gig. So now that's an impressive kind of data rate. Now I have tested a couple of times, I couldn't really see the hit in the 5 gig mark, but now what is this setup, in here, how I have set it up, let me just show some additional detail. Now that's what test we did. So we almost got 4.5 in this live test, but this is sort of a previous test I have done. I got around 4.7 and 4.8 gig. Now this is the access point, almost like a very close, like a maybe close proximity, like a 1 meter, 1.5 meter. So now in real world, you may not, able to get this level of proximity. But now just to show some signal strength point of view, now you can see, on the left side, it shows from the perspective of the UDB switch. Now you can see the UDB switch, see the parent AP, like a NEC 33, NEC 34. Highest you can expect, without much of attenuation. Now the power point of view. So I think, I cannot control the power of this UDB switch. In that way, I think, in 5 gigahertz, they go to like a 23 dBm, bit excessive in my opinion. In that way, it has a 8 dBi antenna that gives like a 31 dBm EIRP value. But in 6 gigahertz, you can see, I'm sure because I'm in Australia, they may basically, cap it to 24 dBm. That's the maximum EIRP value allowed in 6 gigahertz. So that way, that's what the setting. So I don't have any control over power setting of the UDB switch. On the parent AP, if I go to the UAP2, this is the view from the UAP2. Now you can see the mesh child, my UDB switch, seeing like NEC 43 dBm, 6 GHz, NEC 40 dBm, 5 GHz. Because 5 GHz higher transmit power, so it appear to be like. So now this will tell, like maximum theoretical data rate value you should get, like a 4.8 and 2.88. So that means like almost like a, ideally this should go to a 5.8 if you get a very good signal strength. But that's okay. Now it's 4.8 plus almost like a 3. So that is 7.8 kind of value, data rate value. But I am getting around 4.5 as a throughput value. So in that way, now I just want to make sure, like I just show this, like in that way, at least let's give another test. If you basically miss the spectrum while this is happening, just to confirm both being used. So that way now we can say this is the true MLMR-STR kind of performance. Okay. Now you can see in the upload as well, you are using almost 4.8, 4.9. If you are lucky, you will see 5 gig, but at least, like 4.8, 4.9, that's what you get. Now, I just want to do this quick video and show you, like what is the sort of true capability. Now I will bring it, to my downstairs. So now I have moved my UDB switch to downstairs. So now you can see I'm not getting, I'm getting like a NEC 60 dBm kind of signal strength. So let's go ahead and do a speed test and see what's the performance look like. Even this time as well, I want to make sure I'm getting over 2 gig kind of throughput. Like 5 gigahertz being used and 6 gigahertz being used. Now since like it's a bit far away, you will not get, so at least I'm getting a 2.2 gig. So in that way I'm happy, but I had to keep it this 320 160 kind of bandwidth. So now let me just do the final test and reduce this to realistic value. I want to keep it like a 160 megahertz here. Let's do this channel 52 and 80 megahertz. Let's reduce to 80 megahertz first. See, and then probably change it to 52. And then 6 gigahertz point of as well. I want to go with more realistic, even 160 in the home environment. It's okay, but in the real production environment, maybe not possible. Yeah, let me just go ahead and do a speed test. Now, while doing speed test, I will monitor the spectrum. Now you can see here 5 gigahertz, 80 megahertz, 6 gigahertz we are using. So now again you can see I am getting over like a 1.2 gig, 1.5 gig. So this is like almost upload. This is almost getting close to 2 gig. I am happy. At least even with the NEC 60 dBm kind of signal strength, you are getting this kind of signal. Now if we look at the signal strength point of view, now from the parent AP, I am getting NEC 62 and NEC 61. Now AP perspective, that UDB switch appear to be like a NEC 69 in 6 gigahertz, NEC 57 in 5 gigahertz. So that way, it is not like a very close. This may be more real life. you can see, even though the data rate should get around more than 2 gig, I'm getting close to 1.2 gig. So now this is sort of, like a final state of my lab. How I'm going to keep this particular device and do some real world kind of testing. More likely, I'll keep that there, and probably this is sort of a highest speed I have seen in a Wi-Fi 7 connection. So in that way, I'm excited to have this connection in my home lab. Okay, until I see you in another video, take care.